more outrageous than the situation calls for. Be appropriate to the situation so that you get the experience of what it's like to have an effective negotiator work with you, as well as A gets the experience of real life. This is what happens in real life. Is that understood so far? A will then, with B and C, identify their position. So what you want is this, and the positive intention. And having that will allow you what? Or what will having that allow for you that's really important? Remember our meta outcomes. So you're going to get to an outcome. Okay? Now you may have to do that several steps to get to an outcome that might resonate with both. Now, for each side you're doing that. Now, you're going to then, A and D is going to be watching this, and then with A's help, make sure that you've calibrated the agreement. Now remember when I was working with Father Israel, I was calibrating that if this happened, then would this be okay? And we didn't have it until certain things were satisfied. Okay? So D is going to help A calibrate. So as A gets to the positive intention here, that's going to be the thing they're going to have that agreement on. So D can, as A is talking to one person, getting them to the level of intention that could be an agreement frame, D is going to be watching the other person. Does that make sense? Because that other person is going to have to agree with that positive outcome before they'll move from their position. They might have a different positive outcome, and probably will, or not. But they at least have to agree with the other person's positive outcome. Is that clear? So A and D can even discuss what is it that you saw in a person's face that let you know, or their body, or their words, or the tone of their voice, that let you know that if that were satisfied, that would be okay. So A has some help here. Then A has done this at both sides, and you say, so if we've got these satisfied on both sides, you guys would agree to come to an agreement. You don't have to come up what the agreement is. Not yet. This is just so you could move forward in coming to some sort of agreement that would perhaps involve something other than your position. And you want to get that yes on both sides. Once you've gotten that yes, you are complete with the exercise. Okay? All right. Do you need me to demonstrate this? We're getting some yeses and some no's. There's enough yeses. Okay. Then I need 2 participants up here. And we need 3 chairs. And we now have 3 chairs. Wonderful. Good. I would like you to sit there. Somebody to sit there. Yeah, so that, okay. And we're going to have D. Imagine D is over here. And D is going to be watching for all of the verbal and nonverbal cues of agreement. And if I think I've got agreement and D sees that they're not sure, D will take me aside. I want you to imagine this. Take me aside and say, what are you seeing that makes you think you have agreement? Because it's possible D just hasn't seen it yet. So if I can explain it in sensory terms, and I might do it in showing D. So I'm going, here's what I saw. So do it in sensory terms of what you see to get agreement. If D goes, oh yeah, I'm getting that too, great. If D doesn't say, here's what I would want to hope to see something, and I'm not getting it. So we might then ask, does this feel congruent for you? All right? Because this is where it's important, and negotiations often go haywire. You think you've got agreement and you don't. Years ago, I attended an NLP conference in Finland. I was one of the presenters, and we had other people. And they had people from solution-oriented therapy there, because there what they do is mix conferences, which I really like. So you'll have NLP people and people from another modality of therapy or communication that's not opposite NLP. It's a different viewpoint, and it's really fun. So one of these solution-focused therapists was giving a workshop, and he had this great video of a man that he was attempting to get agreement from this man that he would actually come to therapy because his wife wanted him to come to therapy. So he showed the whole thing and how he used questioning and helped focus the guy on solutions to get agreement that he would come in for therapy. And so at the end of the movie, the therapist said, "So you'll agree to come in for therapy?" And the guy said, "Yeah." And they stopped the film. And so we got agreement. And all of us who were NLP trained looked at each other and said, "No, he didn't." The guy might have showed up again, but he was not open to being there in that. So we are going to use all of our sensory cues to make sure we have agreement. So what kind of a situation do you imagine might be fun to demonstrate that comes to mind? I'm going to be doing the work in getting your agreement, so I want you to work in getting a context and content. If you want to talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
What do you commonly face?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a sibling rivalry situation. So what might the content of this context be? What is the rivalry about? And what age are you?
Do you have a situation in mind with that?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm constantly trying to persuade my little brother to go to college.
Okay. Okay.
And your little brother doesn't want to go to college? Do you want to be the one persuading or the one resisting?
I can be resisting.
Okay. So you want to try a different position?
Sure, yeah.
But you know how he does this.
Yeah.
Are you willing to
Sure.
do it in this way? Okay. So it's your younger brother?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're younger than he is. You're
No,
younger
he's
than him.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
resistant.
younger.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
the
sorry,
older
yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you're the older brother trying to convince the younger brother that he needs to go to college.
Okay.
Okay, and so the issue is, you must go to college. No, I won't. That's the issue. How much older is he than you?
A year and a half.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good to know.
So he's what, 20?
He's 20.
20?
He's 20,
Yeah.
and you are 18 and a half.
I'm 20. He's 21.
Okay.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So make
already
sure you
involved.
get. We're switching roles. So, all right. So you're 20 and he's 21.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. And is he already going to college?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's already in college.
Yeah. I have a vision,
All right.
plan.
What's his name?
Chris.
Chris.
Okay, what's his name?
What's your name?
Brant.
Brant.
Yeah.
Oh, so now we're going to get into character. You're Brant.
I'm Chris.
You're Chris.
Okay.
All right? And so take a moment and close your eyes and really let yourself imagine, Oliver, that you're the older brother, Chris. You've been in college for a while, and it's really important to you to talk Brant into going to college. Just get into that position. And Brant, yeah, you can imagine what it's like to be your age, and this older brother's trying to tell you what to do, so, okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay, and so now you are going to behave as if this is really true, and I'm going to be a third person. My job is to We've done that. I'm going to identify their position. We now know their position and get the positive intention of both. So I'm going to begin with the older brother.
Okay.
This is good.
And we've come to you for help.
For help, yeah.
Okay.
Or I'm a friend. Maybe I'm a family friend. So, Chris, I understand that you would really like your brother, Brant, to go to college.
Yes.
So can you share with me some of your thoughts on that?
I'm a little bit concerned. I mean, he's got a dead-end job and no real vision for the future. And, if he went to college now, by the time he was 26, he could have a master's degree and be working and be a professional and have a little more stability in his life.
Okay, so you'd like for him to have the opportunity to be a professional and have some stability in his life. And if you could talk him into this, if you could get him to understand the value of this, what would that accomplish for you and allow for you? What's important about that for you?
Well, what would that allow for me?
If you could know that you got him to agree to go to college and he went to college, what would that allow for you?
I would feel like I've done my job as a big brother. Helping him find some direction. And, I'd feel there's a part of me that's always worried about him and what he's going to do with his life. I see him making a lot of mistakes, and I think I'd feel good about myself that I helped him out, or that I helped him come to that conclusion.
Oh, okay. So it helped you feel good that you'd done your job as a big brother.
Yeah.
And what is it that you want by doing a good job as a big brother in this situation?
Part of it is for him to see me as a role model. And to have, I guess, a little respect as an older brother, too.
Okay. All right. So if you could be that role model, and you knew you were, and you could get that respect, what would that allow for you? You want that so that what?
I feel like we could connect more.
Oh.
Yeah. We'd be more on the same page, I think.
So you want to connect more with your brother?
Yeah.
All right. Good. Thanks. Now, I'm not absolutely sure I have a frame at which he might agree, but there's a furrowing down here of like, So I'm gonna just go over here and talk to him for a while. And so what I'm hearing from Chris is that he wants to connect with you in a way that's important. So do you understand that? That's what he really wants for you? Yeah. Now, so tell me, Brant, by having the position that you have of not going to college, tell me what about that is important to you. Tell me just a little bit about some of your thoughts around that.
Well, I always hated school, and so I don't want to go to more school. I want to get a job, and our dad does this job, so I want to be with my dad, and I'm learning from him, and I like this job. It's not that I think I have a dead-end job. Chris may think I have a dead-end job, but I really like doing what I'm doing.
So you like doing what you're doing, and you don't like school?
No.
Was school hard for you?
It was boring, and I didn't like being there, and I don't like teachers or classrooms.
Oh, okay. All right. So if you could convince Chris that it's a good idea for you not to go to school, what would that do for you that's important?
Well, I tell him all the time, and it would let him know that I already made the best decision for me. He doesn't have to make it for me. I can make it myself.
So you want him to know and the world to know that you can make decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
That's important. Okay.